Hi there, Mayor, council members, and members of the public. My name is Tatiana Arnaud, and I am your city engineer. I'm here seeking the award for the agreement for Edding Road Bicycle and Pedestrians project, as well as the Oxnard Boulevard Bikeway Gap Closure Class 1 Bike Path project. The recommendation is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend to the City Council to first approve and authorize the mayor to execute agreement A-8300 with Hewitt Dollars Incorporated in the amount of $189,565 for plan specifications and estimates for the Edding Road Bicycle and Pedestrian Facilities Installation Project. And second, to approve and authorize the mayor to execute agreement A-8031 with Hewitt Dollars Incorporated in the amount of $139,873 for plan specifications and estimates for the Oxnard Boulevard Bikeway Gap Closure Class 1 Bike Path Project. And finally, number 3, approve a budget appropriation of $108,522 from the Transportation Development Act, Article 8A Fund 212 to Edding Road Bicycle and Pedestrian Facilities Project, as well as recognize and appropriate another $98,000 from the State Active Transportation Program Grant Funds, Fund 210, and another $55,861 from the TDA Article 8A Fund 212 towards the Oxnard Boulevard Bikeway Gap Closure Class 1 Bike Path Project. So both of these projects will be funded in part by the Active Transportation Program grant we received recently, with $80,000 of that going towards Edding Road for the PSME phase, or the plan specifications and estimates phase, and another $98,000 going towards the PSME phase for the Oxnard Bike Path Project. So as far as Edding Road, some of you may or may not be familiar with this road, but the project intends to add some Class 2 or on-street bicycle lanes, as well as construct new sidewalks adjacent to the Ocean View Junior High School and the district offices out there. In order to accomplish this, we will need to widen Edding Road to accommodate for those bike lanes, and as well as those sidewalks, which will include curb and gutter, the ADA access ramps. We will also be adding some crosswalks with flashing pedestrian beacons. New striping and signage and street lights will be included as well. Here's a photo of the existing condition out there. This is right outside the Ocean View Junior High School. As you can tell, we already have some bike lanes here. However, we are looking to add to that as we go down the street here. As I mentioned before, we will be adding some sidewalks. So this photo is just highlighting one of those areas where we have a sidewalk that pretty much ends at the edge of this property. And so our intent is to expand this sidewalk down Edding Road. Additionally, here's just another photo showing that there is a lack of sidewalks along this road, and we will be refreshing these crosswalks and adding some flashing beacons as well. As for the Oxnard Bike Path project, we will be extending the existing Class 1 or off-street bike path from the community garden over at Camino del Sol over to Cooper Road. This project will be constructing this bike path along the SCE easement, which is located adjacent to the Union Pacific Railroad. ADA access ramps, sidewalks, striping, and signage are also included as part of the scope of this project. So here's a photo at the intersection of Cooper and Oxnard Boulevard. The bike path would actually be running between the railroad tracks and the block wall that you see on the right-hand side of this image here. Again, here's now some other photos, same area where we're looking down between that block wall that I was highlighting earlier and the railroad. And so we will be installing the bike path right where that cyclist actually is located in the left-hand side of this photo. As for the proposals, we submitted the request for proposals or published it on December 3rd of last year. January 15th is when proposals were due. We received a total of 5 proposals for the Edding Road and another 5 proposals for the Oxnard Boulevard Bikeway Gap Closure Project. All of these proposals were deemed complete after each were evaluated by city staff, which included our city traffic engineer, our supervising civil engineer, one of our senior civil engineers, our associate traffic engineer, and our transportation planner. After all that, staff reviewed these proposals. Hewitt Dollars Incorporated was selected as the most qualified firm to provide the PS&E for both of these projects. And the qualification selection was based on their extensive civil design experience, their understanding of the scope of services, and the approach that they suggested, their understanding of the City of Oxnard's non-motorized mobility needs, as well as experience working on bicycle and pedestrian improvement projects, not just in general, but also within the City of Oxnard previously. Staff has confirmed that Hewitt Dollars meets all the required city contractual provisions, including their possession of a city business tax certificate, insurance certificate, and the corporate filing with the California Secretary of State. As for the financial impact, the cost for the Edding Road project is $189,000 for the Hewitt Dollars agreement portion. The project already has $80,000 for the PS&E phase from the Transportation Grant State Fund 210, and another $20,000 from the Air Pollution Buy Down Fee 118. So we already have about $100,000 appropriated into the project account. We are seeking an approval to appropriate an additional $108,000 from the TDA Article 8A Fund 212 to be able to execute the PS&E agreement of $190,000 with Hewitt Dollars, as well as provide 10% staff management time or funds in the amount of $19,000 for a total project phase cost of $208,000. As for the Oxnard Boulevard gap closure project, we will need $140,000 with Hewitt Dollars. Currently, there are no appropriations in this project, so we'll be seeking the full appropriation for this phase. So we need to recognize and allocate the $98,000 from this Transportation Grant State Fund 210, as well as appropriate $55,000 from TDA Article 8A Fund 212 to be able to execute this agreement with Hewitt Dollars in the amount of $140,000, and include another 10% or $14,000 for a total project cost of $153,000 for this phase of the project. That $14,000 would be going towards staff time, essentially. That does conclude my presentation. I thank you for your time, and I am happy to take any questions.